Hey everyone, Complex back with another video, and today we're going to start talking about the Shapers. That's right, we are starting our Anthem lore series, and what better way to kick it off than talking about the Shapers, who are pretty much responsible for the world itself, it's believed, within the lore of Anthem. So all the big beautiful pieces of tech that you see incorporated into the world, that's the Shapers. All the relics that you're silencing, the Shapers. So we're going to chat about who the Shapers are, and then I'm going to give you some theories I have personally for who they are and why they did everything. But first, we definitely need to dive into the codex entry of who the Shapers are. Now, if you navigate over to the codex and you go under histories and then Shapers, you will see that there is actually a codex entry for Shapers with 3 entries that I currently have. And it states that humanity's name for the supreme beings that created the world itself. It's a long-held belief that the Shapers used the Anthem of creation to build all aspects of our existence, but had to depart suddenly, leaving their tools behind and our world unfinished. Although they are called the Shapers, their exact number is not known, and all details or motives are purely speculation. So anything else that you read about the Shapers from here on out, you know is purely speculation. Literally, the codex entry says it, because we don't know anything about the Shapers other than they created the world using the Anthem of creation and their tools, and that's it. Why they did it, what their motives were, completely unknown. Did they make humans? Did they make the Urgoth? Did they make the Anzu? We also don't know any of that. All we know is that supposedly they took these relics and machines and used the Anthem of creation to create the world. I mean, theoretically, we don't even know if the Shapers were ground zero for all that. For all we know, the Shapers picked up the mantle from somebody else and kept going. I mean, a lot is unknown. What we do know for certain, though, is that when you overload any of their relics with the Anthem of creation, generally speaking, bad things pop out. Now, it's common that people and groups of people within the world will tamper with these relics that they've left behind to try to either make a cataclysm happen, as we saw with Vara. They'll try to just make new and odd enemies, or it just basically topsy-turvies an area where a relic is overloaded with the Anthem of creation. Now, there is actually codex entries for the relics themselves. Now, the codex entry states that they are instruments left behind by the Shapers when they abandoned the world they created. Varying in shape, size, and purpose, relics are powered by the Anthem of creation and are commonly believed to be the very tools that constructed the world. If an activated relic becomes overwhelmed by the Anthem, it creates a cataclysm, often causing fragments to break off the relic. Lancers have discovered through trial and error that returning the fragments to their rightful place can in some cases silence a relic. And there are also more codex entries if you kind of keep scrolling down, but this is the main one for Shaper Relic. Now, what's interesting is that freelancers are continually silencing relics, it feels like. Everybody and their best friend seem to be overloading Shaper relics with the Anthem of creation in order to create something else, and generally something horrible spews out, or a cataclysm, as we saw with Vara in the most recent cataclysm update. And as you can see, this area that I'm in right now, the Sanctuary of Dunnar, has been destroyed as a result. So messing around with a relic and overloading with the Anthem of creation can have significantly catastrophic results. We saw what happened at Freemark. These are all Shaper relics that were overloaded with the Anthem of creation. Now, the question then remains, what actually happens when they're powered up correctly? And can these tools even be powered up correctly anymore? Or because you see so many pieces that are missing different parts to them because we're not Shapers ourselves, do we even have the ability to safely pick up and use a Shaper relic? And that's something that we really haven't explored yet within the context of the game and the story, and something I'd very much like to know. Can only Shapers activate and use relics correctly, or do we also have that ability? We really haven't heard any positive stories of powering up a relic yet, and I'm very curious to know if that happens down the road. Now, I did say that I had my own theories about the Shapers, and I actually do. I think that the world that we're in is a cataclysm purposely created by the Shapers. Now, I know that might sound a little bit crazy, but we don't know anything about who created this world. All we know is the Anthem of Creation was involved, and all we have is the relics that are left behind. What if the Shapers actually created a cataclysm on purpose, not because they were trying to do something like Vara was, or maybe their purpose was very similar, and that they were trying to protect their people from some kind of invasion or something like that, and they were creating a pocket dimension, a new world, a new universe, whatever you want to call it, a new planet, call it what you will, but they were creating a new area to send their people to keep them safe. Now, if we kind of roll along those lines, it would make sense that we'd have all these great big machines and the Anthem of Creation trying to power up stuff, because what if they were stabilizing the world? What if all of these ancient relics are left behind are forms of trying to stabilize and terraform a cataclysm? Now, if we kind of move along that line of logic, you could then make the argument that the Shapers, maybe they left by choice. Maybe whatever conflict that caused them to create the cataclysm was over, or maybe the cataclysm was created for purely science. You know, like they just wanted to see what would happen and they were done and they walked away. Or maybe the worst case scenario happened, and that's their world was swallowed up by the cataclysm. We know, having been in Vara's cataclysm, that if we were in there too long, it would have destroyed us because we didn't have that connection to our reality. So, I mean, it's very possible that the Shapers died off one by one, or that even their reality was swallowed up by our reality now, or our cataclysm, and that's why they just no longer exist. It would also explain our sensitivity to Ember and our Cypher's connection to the Anthem of Creation. If we were a byproduct of the Anthem of Creation and the Shapers making this world, then yeah, we would definitely be able to survive within it, no problem. Now, there is another theory that we could be what's left of the Shapers. We could be Shapers that found a way to live and thrive within this cataclysm, and we're what's left of them. And for some reason unknown to us, our history was lost. You could also make the case that the Urgoth knew who we were and enslaved us because of that, and then over time we just lost our history and who we were. I mean, it's very possible that that is what happened. But y'all, there are so many different theories and ways that we can go with the Shaper history. It's pretty incredible. I am very, very curious to see if we learn more about the Shapers and what ends up happening. But I hope that you enjoyed this video and either learned something, or maybe this sparked a few questions you had yourself about the lore of Anthem and the Shapers. If so, leave it in the comments down below. I love having lore discussions. I also do stream Anthem at least once a week on Twitch, so I'd love to hear from you there and your thoughts and theories on the Shapers and just, well, the lore of Anthem overall. But seriously, thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.